Hi, it's Joy Foster. I'm founder of TechPixies, and I am delighted you are joining me for another Sparkle and Thrive podcast. This time, we are going solo again. I had so much fun with the Thanksgiving episode. I thought I would try a Christmas series, just you and me, and I think this one you're going to love. It's all about creating a vision for a life that you would love. Some of you may know I have recently become a certified dream builder coach. And this is really in alignment with who I am and what I want to do in the world. And that is help women to become financially independent by chasing their dreams, and not just chasing them, but realizing their dreams. And it all starts with a vision for this life that you would love. So what I'm going to do over the next 3 podcasts, including this one, is dive into 3 keys to dream building. And we're going to talk about key number 1 today. So I want you to take a minute at some point today, maybe now you're going to pause this podcast, pause this video, and I want you to write down this question. Where do I feel longing and discontent in my life? Now, this might not sound like a really happy-go-lucky, exciting exercise to do, but it is in looking at the longing and discontent in our life that we recognize that we have room for improvement, and we start to make decisions to change that. So I want you to look at 4 areas in your life in particular. I want you to look at your time and money freedom. I want you to look at your health and well-being. I want you to look at your love and relationships. And I also want you to look at your vocation or your vocare, right? Where am I on the scale of longing and discontent in these areas? And I want you to give yourself a number. And that can be a number out of 10. So 10 is being that I am perfectly happy and satisfied and things are going really well. And 0 is I have a lot of longing and discontent in this area. And I want you to identify what that longing and discontent is. Maybe you are someone who is wishing that they had a life partner, and that's an area of longing. Maybe you are working really hard, but you're not earning what you're worth. That's an area of discontent in vocare or vocation. Really think about where you are on that scale. And I want you to add those together, and that's going to give you a number. And that number is going to be out of 40. And that's going to tell you where you are right now. And that doesn't mean that it's going to be where you're going to be in 3 months or 1 year or 3 years, but it gives you a starting point. And a lot of people don't do this exercise. A lot of people don't actually wonder, where am I right now? 90% of what they do is subconscious, and they're not actively, consciously thinking about what they would love and where they are. So that's the first step that I want you to do. And I want you to notice what you're noticing. I want you to recognize that you have longing and discontent. In fact, that is part of being a human. It's because of the longing and discontent that people make changes in their lives in order to find that life partner, or in order to go get a better job that pays better, or in order to start running to get fitter. We use that longing and discontent to help motivate us to move forward and to make a change. So really, really great starting point for going into this 3 podcast series is noticing your longing and discontent in the 4 main areas of your life: time and money freedom, health and well-being, love and relationships, and vocation. All right, so we're going to talk today in this podcast about the number 1 key to dream building, and that is design the dream. The question you need to ask yourself is, am I living by design or am I living by default? Many of us, in fact, most of us, live our life by default. We do not live it by design. But the very first step to dream building is to become the designer of your life. It is to become the person who says, this is what I would love, and start to take steps towards that. So everyone has a dream. Not everyone acts on it. This is really important. Our dreams pick us, and we have to decide whether or not we're going to put our time, money, and effort into them. I guarantee you that you are worthy of your dream. The question is the dream worthy of your time, energy, effort, and money? And that's really an important thing for you to establish and get really clear on for yourself. Okay, So one of the verses that I love from the Bible, many of you know I'm a Christian. I work with women from all different backgrounds, but I do always like to ground what I am doing in my own faith. And Proverbs 29:18 says, "Where there is no vision, people perish." So even from a biblical perspective, having a vision is required for progress. Clarity is really powerful in this case. Really important to get clear. If you go to the bank and you say, "I'd like some money, please," the teller behind the bank counter, of course, we don't really go into bank counters anymore, but the teller is going to say, "How much money would you like?" Right? And this is really important that we ask ourselves these questions, that we ask ourselves the question of, what do I want? What would I love? Let's get really clear on this. Don't just go to the bank teller and say, "I want some money." They're not going to know how much to give you. Ask for an amount. If you tell them £5, they'll give you £5. If you tell them £500, they'll give you £500. Obviously, whether or not it's in your bank account is important for you to get that out. But the point is, let's be clear. Let's be clear about what we want. Clarity is actually an essential piece of this. The quality of our lives very much depends on the questions that we ask. So if you are not finding that you have clarity on what you would love, we need to ask better questions. All right, so this is your next piece of exercise that you need to do. You're going to now take those 4 areas: time and money freedom, health and well-being, love and relationships, and vocation. And now I want you to ask yourself key questions like, what would I love? And I want you to write it down. Use inspiration from your longing and discontent to work out, what would I love in each of those 4 areas of your life. And this is the starting point to dream building. Many, many people don't take the time to do these 2 steps. So these are going to be nice, short and sweet podcasts to get you started thinking about what you'd love in 2022, 2023, 2024. Think about the next 3 years. Our brain focuses on what we think we can do within a 1-year period. We want you to go beyond that. What could I do in 3 years? Put your vision for your life a little bit further out from what your brain thinks you can and can't do. And just bear in mind, Henry Ford said, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And that's going to be really, really important as you write these things down. When you write them down, write them in the positive, as if they've already happened. So in the present tense, positively, and really embrace what you would love. I would start the sentence, "I'm happy and grateful that I am now fit and healthy. And I am a person who goes walking every day. I feel fabulous when I look in the mirror and I look at my body. And I'm so proud of all the wonderful things that this body has produced in the world," right? Maybe it's the children that you've had, or maybe you ran a marathon with that body. Whatever you did with it, be proud of it. And the point is, in this exercise, we start out with, "I'm so happy and grateful now that," and you describe your life as if it's already happening. Take all the negative away. Take all the limitations away, and just hold that feeling of what it feels like to be happy and grateful that this is now part of your life. And then when you're finished, I want you to add to the end, "this or something greater still." And that leaves the possibility that there is still something greater out there. So that as we say things like, "I am so happy and grateful that I am fit and healthy, and that I have been able to start running again, and that I have completed the marathon, this or something greater still," that means that there's other things that you can still do. That's just the starting point. And take off the limitations. Stay positive in the present. This is very, very important. If you loved today's session and you got stuck in, I would encourage you to come back and listen to the second one, which will be released soon. And also, if you'd like to go deeper, I have a 3-hour vision workshop. So if you go to techpixies.com/vision workshop, you'll get the latest dates. So techpixies.com/vision workshop is where you want to go. And I would invite you to come and join us for the vision workshop as you start to think about what I would love for the next 1, 2, 3 years. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.